welcome to or back to my channel. Hey, I'm Ellen if you're new here, and I couldn't start 2024 without doing a 2024 trend predictions video. I've seen so many of these going around, and not to slag anybody off, but the amount of these I see that are predicting things that are like already trending, like they say like bows, metallics. I'm like, we've seen that, like we're almost over it. No, like it's not like it's a new trend. So I thought I'd try my luck at actual kind of trend forecasting prediction. So I actually did study this at uni 12 years ago, but I haven't like done any trend prediction since. But I do think I am quite an early adopter into trends. I think that I pick up on them quite quickly when they're coming around. I think I follow a lot of people online who are setting the trends, and I think that's probably a big part of why I pick up on them early. I think that there are like lots of fashion-y it girls that are sort of setting the trends, and they tell us what we're going to be wearing next, as much as the actual true trend cycle of like the fashion industry does. I think we do have influencers that are starting to set the trends almost as much as the trend cycle, but a lot of them are attending fashion week, so they are being influenced by the trend cycle of true fashion as well. Anyway, without further ado, I think the big trend for 2024 is going to be a I'd say like 14 to 16 resurgence. I think we're gonna see people being really inspired by the 2014s, 2015s, that really sort of relaxed boho grunge aesthetic is gonna be huge. And I think I've sort of narrowed down and pinpointed some things within that I think are gonna be sort of key trend areas. So I've got them all written down on my little Notion board on my phone, so I'm going to use that to go through this because I think it's the easiest way to do it. But I think we need to start off with talking about who the icons of 2014, sorry, did I say 14 or was I saying 4? No, 14. 2014, this time period were. The person who I've definitely pinned the most on this Pinterest board when I was making this was Kate Moss. Kate Moss was a huge influence to fashion and culture and lifestyle at this time. She had a range with Topshop, or a few ranges with Topshop. She was, I think, dating the guy from The Kills at this time. And she was just like, she was the height of it girl. She was however we wanted to look. That iconic picture from Glastonbury that everybody has on their Glastonbury Pinterest board was from this time. Other icons were definitely Sienna Miller, who had a kind of a similar aesthetic. Who else have I put? I put Alexa Chung. She had like, they all had this kind of like very British, kind of just rolled out of the club but still looking hot as hell aesthetic that was really thriving at this time. I'd say as was kind of an LA it girl trend as well. So I think we would have just had sort of things like the OC and what was it called with Lauren Conrad, The Hills and stuff like that coming out, and it might have been actually just after that, and it was The City, or whenever we met Olivia Palermo. Olivia Palermo was the it girl for the more preppy aesthetic. I would say she was really like owning that space as somebody that was definitely a fashion icon at this time. And also putting in there somebody who's, I would say, a big icon for our time right now as well. Taylor Swift was having an absolute moment at this point in time as well. So I pinned a lot of Taylor Swift on these boards. I think she'd just released her 1989 album, if I'm correct. And she was wearing a lot of cutesy, trendy fits that were really aspired to as well. So they were the sort of the it girls of the time. And then in terms of what was going on culturally, so in sort of line with TikTok and the rise of TikTok now, Musical.ly had just launched in 2024. Everybody was all over apps like Snapchat, Tumblr, I think even Lookbook. This was when the kind of the surge of Lookbook was happening. And there was a lot of things that are quite parallel to our time now, and it was definitely like a big time for social media, and bloggers and influencers were really starting to rise. I think it was Shakara, I never know how to Ferrer, I've written it down here, Ferrer, I don't want to butcher it, but Shakara Ferrer, she was like the influencer of the time. She was having a line with everybody, like people were starting to make money from influencing, which was really cool. So that's a bit of a world view. Oh, also I wanted to talk about the designer brands that were in sort of their height of success at this time. I would say Isabel Marant was absolutely huge for the boho aesthetic, and with that fitting into a lot of the sort of what people were wearing at the time. Burberry was having a huge moment, so it was this real line between boho, rock chic, and like preppy. Like they were the two sort of strings that people were pulling into. Embellished jeans, so Ashish had a real big hold on us with like all the embellished jeans, and the Balenciaga city bag was at its prime. And let's just roll into the trends, because my first one would be the Balenciaga city bag, the probably Celine tote bag, I forget what it's called, I want to call it the city tote, but it's definitely not, but the Phoebe Philo one, that Celine bag. Big bags, the Balenciaga city bag, the Phoebe Philo Celine bag, those big bags are going to be coming back, and I don't think people are going to be remaking a version of those bags. I'm sure some brands will. I think people are going to be sourcing those exact brands secondhand and buying them on places like Vestiaire or like designer exchange stores. I think people are going to be sourcing the bag that was popular at the time and wearing it now, and are sourcing a bag from that time, and I think that's just a bit of a shift in how people are going to be shopping and the mindset behind shopping in general. We are obviously still very much in a cost of living crisis, so people that can afford, even people that can afford to buy these designer bags, are feeling it. I would say, like, everybody's feeling the cost of living and the changes in the cost of living. I've never seen so many people do a no spend Jan. I've never seen anything like it. I would say 50% of my TikTok videos I swipe across are people doing no spend Januaries. Like, people are just shopping very, very differently now. And I think with quite a few of these trends I mentioned, I think thrifting them will be the way to shop them, because you can get pieces that are actually authentic of the time period, the 10 years ago this was, or whenever, rather than buying from brands that are like remaking things inspired by. So big bags, big oversized bags, I think are going to be huge. I also think the revival of like boho is going to be really big as well. I would say we're going to see this more coming into the spring summer. I don't think we're going to see it just yet. I think spring summer is going to be huge for like bohemian fashion. I also think that with like everything going on in the world as a whole as well, people are angry at like establishments, the government, and bohemian like hippie-esque fashion has always been a real kind of rival of this kind of when we've had turmoil in the world. And I think we're going to see that this summer. I think people are going to really play into bohemian style fashion. I think there's going to be lots of like floaty dresses, lots of almost kind of cowgirl bohemian as well, with like tiered dresses. We're gonna have cowboy boots back, but I think they're gonna be done in less of a costume style way and more of a subtle way, and I think they're gonna be tighter as well. I think it's gonna lean more into the feminine than like baggy oversized, so it's gonna be maybe a baggy size oversized dress but maybe with a lot of skin on show, and I think we're seeing that already with like the coquette fashion becoming really popularized. I think we are going to lean more into the feminine, and I think it's going to be a bohemian styling that is a lot more sort of flirty and feminine than what we've seen before. And I think, yeah, the boots are going to be tighter, maybe they're over the knee, that we saw a lot of that in 2014. I think there'll be a lot of over the knee boots, there'll be a lot of like bohemian dresses, prairie dresses, and I think, yeah, they'll either be styled with, I think either Doc Martens, or I think there'll be another popularization of like the Stuart Wiseman style type boot that will come through as well. I think there'll also be, which we're already starting to see, which I don't think is a trend prediction, I think it's just this is what we're already starting to see trending, is that sort of coquette pastel, very uber feminine lookbook Tumblr princess vibe. Tumblr was obviously huge in this era, so we're already starting to see bits of it coming through, and that kind of coquette girly styling really plays into what we were all posting on our Tumblr boards. And I think that Tumblr aesthetic of like having a real niche to your fashion is going to start trickling in as well. So whether that is coquette super girly or it's like beach babe, we're going to see people niching their fashion down and becoming really sort of, I think that kind of brings in like people shopping less, having more of a capsule wardrobe, really niching their fashion down, the way we did when we were in 2014. We were a Tumblr board, or we were part of a clique or a scene. We were preppy, we were emo, we were scene kids, we were indie kids, we were what was like dorky or nerdy. Like it was like you were in, and maybe I'm saying that because obviously I was just coming out of school at this time, but I think it was just like you were the Kate Mosses of the world, or you were the Olivia Palermos of the world, and they didn't cross. Like Olivia Palermo never dressed like Kate Moss and vice versa. I think people will be niching down into their style a lot more in 2024, which will be interesting to see. I think we'll see, and we're starting to see already, a lot of people wearing faux fur with that viral Zara jacket that went nuts, and I don't think that will stop. I think we'll see that next winter, maybe even more so, and I think we'll see it leading up through spring as well, maybe moving into like fur gilets, or like bringing back like the Afghan gilets that were trendy only a few years ago. I think they're going to have a bit of a moment as well, because they play really nicely into the boho trend. And also a big thing in 2014 was wearing like your fur gilet over like a floaty boho dress, and I think we're going to see people mixing those two trends together as well. So it'll be the faux fur with like a bohemian dress. I'll try and get some pictures. Hopefully there's been pictures playing this whole time. And I also think we're going to see a massive rise in people wearing leopard print. I think we're starting to see it already. Obviously the Ganni girls have been wearing the Ganni leopard jeans forever, but it was really it was like very much like made clear that leopard print was chuggy in the past few years, and I think we're gonna like have a real comeback of leopard print this year. I think it's gonna start very soon. I think it's gonna be huge through spring, summer. I think everyone's gonna be wearing leopard print in different ways, leopard print trousers, leopard print like gilets, leopard print coats. Like leopard print's gonna be huge. Leopard print bags, leopard print shoes, little leopard print pumps. I remember I had a pair of little leopard print pumps in 2014. I frigging loved them. Like I'd love to see the return of a leopard print pump. A leopard print Mary Jane. Would love to see it. I think that's gonna be absolutely huge. I also think at some point this year the skinny jean is going to come back. I've thought this for a while now, and I think I saw Sarah Ashcroft wearing a pair of skinny jeans recently, and I think we're going to get skinny jeans back. I think it kind of leads into that, people wanting to be a little bit more feminine and girly, and a skinny jean, although we went through the early 2000s wearing skinny jeans, they're not as comfortable. You feel a little bit suffocated in the leg every now and again, but they are sexier and more girly and more feminine, and they look hotter than the jeans we're wearing now. And I do think we are going to lean into a slimmer look when it comes to jeans, a slimmer, more put together look. And I think, going back to the Stuart Wiseman boot coming back, I think it's going to be skinny jeans with a knee-high boot over. I think it's going to come back. I think people have got a bit of like, I think it's millennials as well, have got a bit of fatigue with like listening to Gen Z telling us what to wear, and I think they're just going to be like, no, I loved dressing like sexy and skinny jeans and like tight and ultra uber feminine, and I want it back. And I think it is going to come back either late summer, early autumn, I would say, is when we bring the skinny jean back. I don't think it's going to happen that soon, but I think it will come back autumn, winter. We'll see a rise in a skinny jean. And then I think I wasn't really going to mention makeup, but I think in terms of like makeup, we've obviously been doing the whole clean girl thing for quite a while now. Everybody's prioritized skincare over makeup, and a big thing in sort of this 2014 to 2016 timing was like looking like you've literally just, I think I've said it like 4 times in this video, looking like you'd literally just popped out, rolled out of the club and had started your day. Like that was the aesthetic. It was like smudgy eyeliner, it was like loads of mascara, dark eyes, dark lips, like not thinking, oh, my balancing out my face. It was just like, I went out last night and this is what I'm left with. That was the aesthetic, and I think we will start to lean more into that as well. I think people will go heavier on the makeup. I think people will start having more fun with their makeup. I think that's also kind of a prerequisite of people spending less money on clothing, and people will start to spend more money on, not more money, but more time on like having a simple outfit but then having like your face done. Also in this era as well was like I think it was the like era of the makeup guru as well, so that really like sharp, perfect makeup. I think just makeup is gonna get less clean, is basically my prediction there. And yeah, that is my trend predictions. Usually these videos are way longer, but I feel like I really kind of like, I knew what I wanted to say in this one, and I will be so interested to see if it happens. Like I will still make like my spring summer trend prediction, my autumn winter trend prediction video, and we'll see if like I feel like any of these have come into fruition. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But also apparently in Saltburn this was quite a big aesthetic as well. I haven't watched it yet, but I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please remember to smash a like on the video and hit subscribe if you're new here, and I'll catch you in my next one.